Alright. I'm going to try to work through this issue from the forum. Sketch plane alignment, realignment. So what's happening is they're having trouble aligning the image to the work coordinate system. It's not coming up flat the way they want it to be able to develop toolpaths properly for the CNC machine. So I did download this file. I don't know if you can see that bar. Oh, you can. And I did download it from the Fire Share site as well. It's a Dog Creek Customs one. I actually follow him on Instagram too. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. So, Sidzar one? Why Sid? Yeah. I'm gonna call it Sid. Perfect. So I'm gonna move into Fusion and open this file. The Steelers. So yeah, right off the bat, we do have some kind of weird view going on. So if we look up at the view cube over here, I know it's kind of small and my avatar blocks it, but it's ideal. I know the view cube or your view doesn't really impact what's going on in here. Origin does and the work coordinate system does, but your view doesn't. But the view will help improve your spatial orientation to what's happening. So typically when we look at drawings or anything in Fusion, we want to look at it as if we were looking down at the table we're going to be cutting it on. It just makes it a lot streamlined all the way through, because then origin and everything happens to be in the same place, and whether that ends up being here or there, in this case we're going to talk about origin being in the bottom left hand corner when you're standing in front of your machine, but there is definitely other scenarios. So let's go to the home view, which is that view. Let's find top here. So this is the top looking down at it, and it's also kind of an odd, yeah. So I can see why this was hard to align to begin with, because it's kind of in an odd orientation to everything to begin with. So let's go into setup, and we can modify our orientation here. Let's see if I can activate that. Excuse me for 1 sec here. Alright, well, we basically want Z excuse me. Where are you? You're going to edit this. So if you look at these arrows, they highlight as two different sections. And we can use this to align our work. So the outer part of these arrows, I can't really get any closer with that. The outer part of these arrows will flip the direction of the arrow. And the bottom part, if you click it, is the align with an orientation. So in this case, let's say we want Z to be like that. So now actually our orientation's correct. And we can now choose our stock box point. Excuse me, which the bottom left will choose. And that looks okay. Let's just take a look through the rest of the settings here. So our model is our body, which is exactly what we want. And our stock. So relative stock size is exactly what you want. What you have to watch is if you end up having a few different parts, the next setup you make, it's going to default to from preceding stock, and it really messes with people on the setup menu. So if things aren't going good on that first setup menu, and it's the second piece that you're doing toolpaths for, it's very likely that this default setting is on, and just go back, just skip ahead to stock and switch it to relative box size, and then move back to setup and start working with this. I should have shown that first, but I knew it was just the one setup, so it wasn't coming from preceding stock, or it couldn't have been. Don't allow a top offset. Okay. And naming your program is always nice. This will end up being the name of your NC file in the end. So we'll just call it Steelers sign. I think it was 14 or 15 inches. Let's go 14 inch. Okay. So now we have a decent coordinate setup here. And we can start developing toolpaths normally for it. What am I going to use here? Let's use one of his tools. We'll use the Cut 6D, that one. I don't know about what the millimeters are doing, so I'm just going to assume that it's good. So I'm going to select all that geometry. I'll use smoothing on this for some of the letters. I wish I knew it. I guess I can actually write in the imperial measurements. So all right, let's see how much it picks up here. So this might take a minute. The other thing I remember seeing on here now that I should have got after was the text. Seeing if the text is too small and causing issues. So I will just take a look at that. Oh, it's developed the toolpaths already. I'll go back. Okay, so it's developed. Oh, it picked up everything. Well, that's great. Might be a few places in here where the OP wants to select a starting point. But all in all, it's totally cuttable. All right. Let's see what some of these dimensions are here and see if this is going to just vaporize when he does this. So, something in millimeters. All right, let me just do a quick conversion there. Even though I live in Canada, I rarely use the metric system. So it's a 1/16 of an inch. So you might have some vaporization problems there. It's just over a 1/16 of an inch. Yeah. And you got a prime cut. Maybe. If you're cutting fast and you keep the heat down, that might not just disappear on you. But that's a 1/16 of an inch. So, what's the overall of this sign again? No. Escape. That happens with the measure tool sometimes too. It feels like it gets stuck. Just hit escape and select it again. 384. Let's see how many inches that is. Excuse me. 15 inches. Okay. Yeah, maybe making that bigger might be good for just some of these little pieces of geometry in here. This looks like maybe if that's a 1/16, then this is going to be, 3/16 and a quarter. So those will be fine. But yeah, just maybe right in here. Okay. Maybe I will go back to, I'm going to close this, and I'm going to open up the toolpaths again. I'm going to open up that, and I'm going to save this. And I'll export this file just so he has it. So that's how you export an F3D. It's just up to the file system, down to export. It's the default type. There is other types in here, like DXF. I find that it's not a very reliable DXF compared to the other one. But anyways, let's not get off track here. Yep, export that. And then we'll put that in there for them. All right, well, thanks for watching.